Well, good morning from Ottawa. I know it's not morning in the morning for all of you, but it's 6 a.m. here in Ottawa, so my day is off to an early start. But I'm really happy to join with you today. I hope that you're enjoying the course and enjoying the base camp and finding that it's even what you've discovered so far uh, has been helpful. And today's kind of a special day in Ottawa. I don't know what the weather is like where you are, but I looked out the window when I woke up this morning and we had our first snowfall. So, just a little tip if you're planning to, uh, if your future plans include coming to Canada to study or go to university, one of the things that you'll have to get used to is snow. Maybe you don't have snow where you live or have ever seen it before, but I can tell you it's something that you'll get used to, and you'll actually learn to enjoy all the things that can be a part of winter in Canada. Before we get started, today I'm going to share with you um, how you can increase your confidence. A few questions that I've received already in some of the posts in the Facebook group and in some messages is that a lot of you don't feel really confident when it comes to approaching the IELTS exam. So that's what we're going to talk about today, and I'm going to share my story with you about how I've been able to develop confidence in my life over the past few years. And so I hope to hope sharing that experience will be helpful for you. But before we get started on that, I just want to take a couple of minutes. If you have any questions or you want to just say hello and let me know where you're watching from as we go along, feel free to put your comments and questions in the comments section. But I just want to let you know that some of you may be just getting started today. Maybe you joined into the course late, or maybe you have a day where you miss the lesson, or you're not able to do the lesson for that day. And I want to let you know that if you go to the Facebook group and you go to the top of the Facebook page, you'll see a list of tabs. And one of the tabs is called the guides section. And I want you to know that if you go into the guides section, you will find all the previous lessons from the course. You'll also find all the previous live sessions. So even if you've arrived late or you miss a day, it doesn't mean that you have to miss the lesson for that day. All the lessons can be found in the live session, and they'll be available for a few days after the course ends as well. So don't worry if you miss a day or you get a little bit behind. There will be time for you to complete the course. So I would encourage you to keep going, and don't worry about getting everything on schedule. If you're watching this live session on replay, you can still put your comments and questions below the post or in the comments section on YouTube, and I'll be sure to do my best to try and answer your questions. Another thing I just want to mention is in the video lessons, you'll hear about, you might have heard about complete the survey for the day. Well, for this course, I've changed the format a little bit. And instead of a survey, you'll see a daily post in Facebook every day with a poll. And it's just a simple way of giving me some feedback so that I can make some adjustments as we go. Give me maybe add in an extra live session that answers any questions or concerns that you have. For example, most of this course seems to focus on the academic IELTS exam, but I want you to know that on the weekend, I'll be adding in an extra live session that has to do with, for those of you who are taking the general test. Okay, just to give you a little bit of information, when it comes to the academic exam and the general exam, the listening sections and the speaking sections are identical. So whatever you learn from about the listening section will apply to you if you're taking the general exam, and the same is true when we talk about the speaking exam. But this weekend, I will be doing a special session, a live session on the general writing task 1. Okay, the writing section of the general test is similar to the academic test, but the task 1 in the general test is different from the academic exam. It's where you have to write a letter, and I will be doing a live session on the weekend. I'm not sure yet whether it'll be Saturday or Sunday, but you'll have plenty of warning. And so that'll be a bonus for those of you who are taking the general exam. There'll also be coming this on Friday, there will be a live session with a complete demonstration for the speaking section, and I'll be having an interview with a friend of mine, a colleague who teaches with me. Her name's Valeria, and we'll be demonstrating complete speaking section. I'm also going to throw in a few bonus videos about how to improve your speaking skills, and another bonus video that'll come up in the next couple of days about how you can manage your time if you need to find a way to balance preparing for IELTS with all the other things that you have to do with your preparation. So, and just one other little item, if you're looking for extra information or materials to support what you're learning in this course, be sure to visit my YouTube channel. It's called IELTS Success Summit. I'll put a link in the comments following this live session. And I'm just trying to share more and more ways that I can help you as you prepare for the IELTS exam. So let's get started, and let me just remind you about why I'm doing this. I've made it my mission over the last few years to help as many people like you get the score they need on the IELTS exam and then go on to fulfill whatever your dream is. Maybe it's to go to university in an English-speaking country, or maybe it's to have a new career in a new English-speaking country, or to immigrate and start a new life with your family in a new country. But whatever your dream is, I want you to know that I'm here to help you in the best way I can. And most of what I'm going to share with you comes from my own experience and the confidence that I have and the belief that I have that what I'm sharing with you will make a difference and will help you to be successful. Now, right now, I do feel very confident in my abilities. I feel very confident that I can share important information and useful information with you when it comes to pursuing your dreams. I feel confident because I have a good education. I have a master's degree. I'm certified with TESOL Canada to teach English in Canada. I have my IELTS certificate from the British Council. So I've spent a lot of time um, acquiring the things that help me to be more successful and better equipped to help people like you. So there are a lot of reasons I have for feeling confident. But I want you to know that confidence is not something that you have once you achieve good results. It's not something that comes from passing passing the IELTS exam, and it's not something that comes from finishing university. It's something that you need to actually accomplish those things. So, what I really want to share with you is how you can develop this confidence and how I've done it over the years. There were a lot of times in my life where I had a good reason not to feel confident. There were lots of times in my life where I had many reasons to feel like things were not going to work out the way that I hoped, the way that I planned, and the way that I dreamed of. And even though I have my uh, certificates and degrees now, I have to tell you a little secret. And the secret is this: I failed high school. I did not pass my exams, my final exams, and I didn't graduate from high school my first time. And this was very discouraging. It was disappointing. And when I uh, failed high school, it really shocked me. And it helped me to realize that I needed to learn a lesson or two if I really wanted to fulfill my dream. And because I wanted to go to university. And so failing high school was a big blow to me. And when I failed high school, um, people close to me, my friends, even my family said, well, maybe you should change your dream. Maybe you should have a different goal. Maybe going to university is not something that you should consider. But I didn't want to listen to them. And so I went back to high school. And I did complete my high school studies. I did graduate, and I decided to go to university. And even though I had just finished high school, even again, my family, my friends, and even sometimes I would tell myself, maybe university is not something that you can accomplish. But I did apply for university, I did get accepted, and I started to go to university. And for the first 2 or 3 years of university, things were going very well. I was making progress. I was finishing my courses. I was passing my exams. But then something happened in my fourth year of university, and I dropped out. I had to quit university for different reasons, things that were happening in my life. And again, here I was facing disappointment, facing discouragement, and thinking, I'm not going to fulfill my dream. I'm not going to have the career that I want. And I had to, because of the circumstances in my life, I couldn't afford to pay for my tuition anymore. I had to get a full-time job. And when I got a full-time job, I had to change my plans. But I didn't give up on my dream. I just continued to take my university courses, but this time I could only take one course at a time. And finally, after 9 years, I finally completed my bachelor's degree. And when I completed my bachelor's degree, I really felt like I had accomplished a really good goal, but it wasn't my dream. Because you see, I wanted to go and get my master's degree. And when I told my family and my friends that I planned to take my master's degree, they told me the same things they did when I was back in high school. Well, you may want to think about that and maybe come up with a different plan. After all, not only did you fail high school, it took you 9 years to get a 4-year university degree. But I thought, I am going to get my master's degree. And so I enrolled and got accepted into a graduate program, and I started my studies. But once again, because of the circumstances of my life, and they weren't necessarily bad things, I had gotten married, I now had children, I was working full time in a career that I had gotten because of my bachelor's degree, but I was still determined to get my master's degree. And so I did the same strategy I did with my bachelor's, one course at a time, worked full time, and got my master's degree one course at a time. And 10 years later, I finally graduated with my master's degree. So when I think back to high school, when I was decided that, I was going to be determined enough to graduate from high school so that I could take the next step, finally, about 25 years after finishing high school, I finally graduated with my master's degree. Now, I'm not saying that your journey is going to take as long as mine, but I can tell you that the reason I'm feeling confident now is not because I have a master's degree. It's not because I'm doing a job and having a career that I love. My confidence started the day I decided to go back to high school and finish my high school, to make that one decision to go back and be determined that I was going to finish high school. And then my confidence grew as I began university. And then when the difficulties came and I continued one course at a time, even though this seemed like a major setback, that is where my confidence grew the most, day by day, one course at a time. And the same throughout my master's degree as I balanced doing my studies with my family, with my children, and with my job. This is where I gained my confidence, not from the end result, but from the daily motivation, the daily decisions to keep working towards my dream. And this is what I want to share with you. I'm going to just share with you for just a few minutes what I think are the 3 keys to building confidence. And I hope that this will help you if you're feeling doubtful, if you're feeling discouraged. Maybe you've taken the IELTS exam before and you didn't get the score you need, and you're worried that that might happen again. Well, it doesn't have to. So let me just share a few things with you about how you can build confidence into your life. So let me just share with you a few things about how to develop confidence. And I just want to give you 3 words that if you can remember these 3 words, it'll go a long way to helping you build the confidence you need, not only for success on the IELTS exam, but for success in your future. So it's a little vocabulary lesson today too. That's the bonus. But let me give you 3 words that have helped me and will help you to build the confidence that you need. The first word is consistent. You need to be consistent. Okay? And consistent means acting in the same way over time. You might not feel confident when it comes to the IELTS exam today, but after today's lesson, or after this course, or after a few weeks or months of preparation, if you make a daily commitment to preparing for the IELTS exam, even just a few minutes a day, you will see your confidence begin to increase. And as you develop habits that will help you to balance your time and to focus your energy, as you develop these daily habits, this is where you'll begin to see your confidence increase. And it's just doing the right thing one day at a time. Don't wait. Don't say to yourself, when I pass the IELTS exam, I'll feel confident, because you know, and I know from the questions I've received, it takes confidence to pass the IELTS exam. So where does this confidence come from? It comes from taking one step at a time, one decision at a time, a daily commitment to just doing the right thing every day that will get you closer to your goal. Uh, one, one, one of you shared with me that you did the listening test and you didn't feel you did very well, and you're feeling discouraged and feeling like you're not going to be able to pass the listening section. Well, I've shared the strategy and the techniques in the lesson. Don't expect for it to be to do really well the first time, but make a commitment to try again tomorrow, and then you might see a little improvement, and then make a commitment to try again the next day. And as you stay with your daily commitment, your daily habit of preparation, you will see progress, and you will see your confidence begin to build. There's no replacement for just a daily commitment to taking a new step each day towards your goal, towards your dream. And as you take these daily steps and your confidence builds, when you feel you're ready, then you can book your date for your IELTS exam, and on test day, you'll feel like you're fully prepared, and you'll have the confidence you need to get the score you want the first time without having to repeat. So I would really encourage you, and that's part of the design of this course, is just to spend a few minutes each day. I can tell you from experience, having done this course a few times now, that only about 10% who begin this course will complete it in total. Only 10%. And the main reason that 90% of people don't complete this course is because they don't stay consistent. They just don't set that little bit of time aside each day to work through the course. And this is one of the most important things I hope you'll discover during this course, that if you take the time each day to complete each lesson, by the time you finish this course, not only will you have a better opportunity and get higher scores in your practice and be more prepared for the IELTS exam, I guarantee you your confidence will grow, and you will see a difference in your confidence level at the end of the 12-day course. So the first word I want you to remember is consistent. Just act in the same way every day over time, and you will see your confidence begin to build as you find that as your ability grows, and that comes with that daily practice. The second word that I want you to be aware of is the word persistent. And this is the ability to continue despite obstacles. No matter what stands in your way, you can keep going. And the way that you can do this is to just really be focused on what you really want. What is it that you really want? And each day you may have to make a choice. Do you really want to watch that TV show? Do you really want to go out with your friends? Or do you want to get the score you need on the IELTS exam? So you need to really focus on your desire. What is it you really desire, and what is it you really want? And I'm not telling you to never go out with your friends. I'm not telling you to never take time to relax and watch TV and do the things that you like to do, but to just keep them in perspective and make a decision as to what is most important for that day. What is the step you need to take that day? And I also encourage you to rest. That's why we're going to have a day off this weekend with no new lessons, so that you can take the time to do the things to do. And then you need to, as well as your desire, once you know what you really want, this will determine your motivation. What is it that's really motivating you? And it's not just a score on the IELTS exam. The score on the IELTS exam is because you want to get into university. And it's not just getting into university. The reason you want to get into university is because you want to have the career of your dreams or live in the country of your choice. So when you think about what you really want, think about your long-term goal. What is it that is really motivating you each day? And 15 minutes today will help you achieve the career of your choice, the university of your choice, the country of your choice. And the main thing about being persistent is don't give up. One of the things that I suggested to you as a strategy in the listening section lesson, maybe you've already done it for today, is one of the key strategies is to keep moving forward. Sometimes, in the listening section, and you'll also discover in the reading section, is that you may miss a question or you may make a mistake. So what do you do if that happens? You have to forget about it. You have to keep moving forward. You have to overcome that mistake. You have to overcome that missed answer and keep moving forward, because the answers you need are ahead of you, not behind you. And that's so true for life. So don't give up, whatever the circumstances. If you miss a day of your preparation, if you miss a day of practicing, don't give up. Just start again the next day. And that's what I learned when it took me 9 years to get my bachelor's degree and 10 years to get my master's. I just had to keep going. And if I had something that stopped me from studying one day, I just had to do it. I just had to start over again the next day. So be consistent, show up every day, develop those daily habits and those daily routines, and then be persistent. If an obstacle comes in the way, maybe an emergency with your family, there's things that you can't control. Don't give up. Just start again the next day and keep going. And I know that you'll begin to see your confidence build, because you know that regardless of what stands in your way, you can overcome it and keep going. So be consistent, be persistent. And the last thing I want to share with you, the next word, is resistant. Don't be affected by opposition. Don't be affected by the negativity that could surround you. When I failed high school, I had negative thoughts. I thought, am I ever going to be able to do this? I was my own worst enemy. And sometimes when we don't get the score we need on a practice test, or something doesn't work out the way that we want to, or we don't accomplish what we want to accomplish for that day, we begin to have negative thoughts, and we're our own worst enemy. We tell ourselves, Jeff, you're not ever going to accomplish this. You're never going to be able to do this. You'll never have the confidence you need to get a good score on the IELTS exam. And when these thoughts come into your mind, the best way to deal with them is be consistent. Well, I'll try again tomorrow. Be persistent. Don't give up. Overcome that obstacle. And don't allow these things to cause you to feel negative about yourself. Tell yourself every day when you wake up, I can do this no matter what happens today. And set aside that few minutes and work towards your goal. So sometimes when these negative thoughts, it seems like we're our own worst enemy. We tell ourselves we can't do it, but we can overcome that. The other place that we often get negativity is not from ourselves, but from other people. Even my own parents at times told me, are you sure you want to keep going towards this goal? And there may be people that might tell you, maybe you should change your dream. Maybe you should give up on going to University of Toronto in Canada. It's just too far away and too much for you. Don't let these outside voices affect you. Just believe in yourself and be determined to accomplish what you want to accomplish. I also want to tell you about the worst kind of negative people. Sometimes the worst kind of negative people are not the people who tell you it's too difficult for you, or you can't do it, or maybe it's a goal you can't reach. Sometimes the most negative people are the people that tell you, oh, it's really easy. I got a score on the IELTS exam my first time trying, and I didn't even study. Don't listen to these people. Okay? That's not how you measure your success. You don't measure your success by other successful people. Maybe it was easy for them, or maybe they're just telling you how easy they're. Maybe they want to show themselves to be something as a success, and so they're telling you, "Oh, don't worry, the IELTS exam is no problem. I got a score of 8 without even studying." I can tell you for a fact that that's not the case in most situations. A very small percentage of people will get the score they need without putting in the time and the hard work that it takes. You know that, I'll tell you a statistic about IELTS exam. About over 5 million people around the world every year take the IELTS exam. Over 5 million people. And the average score on the academic IELTS exam out of those 5 million people who take the IELTS exam is a 5 out of 9. And that's definitely not what they need to get into university or to have a career in a new country. So the average score is 5. And the other statistic I just want to mention to you is that over 50% of those 5 million people who take the IELTS exam don't get the score they need their first time taking the test. And what happens is they end up taking the test. Some students that I speak to have taken the test 4 or 5 times and still not gotten the score they need. And the reason is this: they don't have the confidence to get the score they need because they haven't been consistent with their preparation, they haven't been persistent, and they haven't resisted the idea that no preparation is required, or that the IELTS exam is just an easy thing to do, or that by taking the test and spending lots of money will get them the score they need. That is not going to happen. And one of the other things that I just want to mention, because I see it so often, it's really a scam. And you'll see this in Facebook groups for free IELTS preparation all the time. I see them every day in Facebook groups. And this is the idea that you can get an IELTS certificate for university without having to take the test. You can buy your IELTS certificate. This is a scam. It's illegal. And if you try to use that certificate to get into university and it's discovered that you didn't take the IELTS exam, you will be barred from that university. And not only that university, every other university you apply for will deny your application because you have a history of being fraudulent and doing something illegal. So don't fall for that scam. What I'm trying to say to you is sometimes the most negative people can be the people who don't appreciate the work that it takes and the preparation necessary for the IELTS exam. And while it's not easy, what I really hope to show you in this course, that it can be simple. Be consistent, be persistent, and be resistant to those negative thoughts and negative people that will stop you from getting the goal. And I know this works. I am confident that I can help you get the score you need. And you can be confident that taking part in this course and the things that you're going to learn for the next 12 days will build your confidence. I guarantee that if you do the daily lessons and watch and do the daily worksheets and take part in these live sessions, I can guarantee you that you will feel more confident and you will be more competent. Your ability on each of the IELTS exam questions will increase as you practice. And the reason I know this is from experience with the other students who have taken this course and who have taken instructions in courses that I've provided over the years. I know that this material works, and that's why I'm so confident, because I've consistently shown up every day and tried to figure out new ways to explain the IELTS exam more clearly and develop more effective techniques. I've been persistent. There have been times where I felt like giving up. And I've been resistant to people who tell me that my methods don't work or that I can't. There's no way I can help people get the score they need. But I believe in myself. And because I believe in myself, I believe in you. I really believe that you can get the score you need on the IELTS exam. And that's all I wanted to do today, was take a few minutes. I've probably taken a little more time than I should have. But all I wanted to do today was encourage you to believe in yourself, to be consistent, to show up every day and just do a little bit every day, to be persistent and keep moving forward no matter what obstacles you face, and be resistant to any ideas, whether they come from your own thoughts or from other people, that you won't be successful on the IELTS exam by doing these things. So I want to encourage you, and I just want to share with you one more thing, just a message that I like to read to help build my confidence, but I hope that it will also help you be confident in what you're doing over the course of the next 12 days. I want you to think about Augusto, who comes from the Philippines. She took this course during the summer, and I recently had a message from her, and she said, "Jeff, I'd like to inform you that I passed the IELTS exam. I'm very happy with the results, and joining your course was the greatest help in pursuing my dreams." That's why I believe that this course can help you no matter what your dream is. And just one more from Jason from Hong Kong, who's now living in Australia. He had to take the IELTS exam to start a new career as a lab technician in Australia. And I really appreciate when people recommend me to others. And he's achieved a band score of 8 on his IELTS exam from the strategies that he learned specifically about his weakness and where he lacked confidence was in his writing. And he was able to improve his writing so that he could get an overall band score of 8. This is all possible for you. I'm not saying an 8. I'm not saying you even need an 8. But I do know that you can be successful on the IELTS exam by remembering 3 key words: consistent, persistent, and resistant. So that's all I really want to share with you today. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the chat. Ignore the comments in the chat that are, there seems to be someone trolling today and just putting inappropriate things in the chat, but just ignore that. If you have a question, please, I'll take a few minutes now, a couple of minutes, to answer any questions you have about anything we've done in the course so far, or anything, any questions you have about finding lessons or finding the worksheets. Please put them in the comments now, and I'll be happy to answer them. If not, you can always add your comments. You can contact me by messenger or email, and I would encourage you to do that, and I'll answer your questions. If you're watching on the replays, you can still put your comments, and I'll be happy to answer them. Same, you can put your questions in the comments on YouTube as well. So I just want to say hello to a couple people. Hey, Robin from Qatar, thanks for joining today. Really great to see you. Sylvia, thank you for showing up today. You know, it's not always how you start. It's how you keep. It's how you finish and keep. You keep going. Okay, one step at a time. And maybe today you didn't start as well as you wanted to, but you can have a better start tomorrow and another. Okay, it's not the start that's important. It's keeping going, keep moving forward. And I really want to encourage you. Rain, thank you for coming today. I hope that you have a great evening too. Well, if there's no questions, we'll wrap it up for now, and I hope to see you in the next live session, where we'll be looking at the speaking section, having a demonstration of the speaking section. And don't make sure that if you're doing the general test, you look out for a special live session I'll be doing on the weekend for the general writing task 1, which is how to write an email or write a letter. So that's something that I've never put in this course before, but it is going to be in the course for the first time this weekend. So I look forward to seeing you again soon, and all the best on your journey as you prepare for the IELTS exam and develop the confidence you need to be successful in the future.